Welcome back to reality, where we all have to go back to work.
Do you guys remember when I said that we haven't seen the end of the whole Wendy Williams drama? Well, it turns out that I was right, because things have gotten even worse for Wendy, and her ex-husband is definitely not making things any better. Wendy Williams' marriage to her ex-husband Kevin Hunter was far from perfect, because it turned out that Kevin was cheating on Wendy like crazy. And it wasn't just random flings with different women, it was a serious relationship with one woman that lasted for a really long time. We first got to know of Kevin's affair when the Daily Mail exposed him way back in 2017. It was revealed that Kevin had been having an affair with a woman named Sharina Hudson for 10 years at that point, which means that the affair started sometime around 2007. The Daily Mail also revealed that Kevin had bought Sharina a house worth about $765,000, and that was just 9 miles away from where he lived with Wendy. The mailbox even had both Kevin and Sharina's name on it. You guys need to understand how scandalous this is, because Kevin did not have any money of his own, and he was basically spending Wendy's hard-earned money on his side piece. Man, it's the disrespect for me. Not only did he cheat on Wendy, but he also made her pay for his affair, and that is beyond disgusting of him. But at the time, Wendy and her team denied the allegations, saying that Sharina and Kevin were just good friends, and they even accused people of trying to make trouble in Wendy's marriage. Wendy was still trying to portray that her marriage was perfect, even though it was far from it. This is kind of funny, because the Daily Mail also reported that Wendy knew about Sharina all along, but she had a weird kind of understanding with Kevin that he could do whatever he wanted with Sharina as long as there's no baby involved, because that would humiliate her. Wendy, honey, having a man who openly cheats on you is more than humiliating enough, especially when it's public knowledge that he is spending your hard-earned money on his side chick. Now, do you guys remember that time on Wendy's show when she talked about having a fracture on her shoulder? Here's a little recap of that.
So I have a hair fracture on my right shoulder, and I did it on Sunday. And by Monday morning, my shoulder was on fire. There's no way I could have done yesterday's show. So I went and I was all about the medical care yesterday, from one doctor to the other. So I'm on the mend. I don't need an operation. They tell me I'm very healthy, you know, for a person after 50.
Well, turns out that Wendy got that injury after she fell down when she and Kevin were having a heated argument. And do you want to guess what they were arguing about? Yep, Sharina. Now, we don't know if Wendy fell by accident or if she tripped or if she was pushed, but what we do know is that she did fall because she and her husband were arguing about his side piece. But it gets even worse. So when Wendy was recovering from her fracture, she checked herself into a rehab facility in Florida, and Kevin flew down to Florida for a couple of weeks to be with her. Seems like the kind of cute stuff that a great husband would do, right? Yeah. Well, turns out that Kevin also took Sharina with him to Florida for a mini vacation. Girl, what? Rumor has it that whenever Wendy and Kevin took a vacation, he always made sure that he brought Sharina along. Even though Wendy knew about this, she never put her foot down to make Kevin stop bringing Sharina everywhere he went, like she was his prize puppy or something. It just kind of makes me wonder why she was so comfortable with being disrespected by her husband. Nobody deserves to be treated like that, and it's just sad. Now, apart from taking Sharina everywhere, Kevin also spent a lot of money on her. Speaking to the Daily Mail, an insider revealed that she's living in a very nice apartment in Manhattan that he pays for, and he got her a studio in Midtown for one of her many businesses that he supports. He put her through school to be a massage therapist. He opened a kiosk for her at the mall in North Carolina where she's from. He helped her set up a jewelry and clothing line online called Vish, but none of her businesses have been a success. At this point, I'm sure you guys are wondering why Wendy didn't just leave Kevin, because that's the same thing I'm wondering too. Well, the source also answered this question and revealed that Wendy had been brainwashed by Kevin. The source says he controls everything. He takes her phone. She has 0 friends. She's not in regular contact with her family. He controls every aspect of her life because he's insecure. In fact, it was reported that Sharina wanted Kevin to leave Wendy and be with her instead, but Kevin told her that he couldn't because he and Sharina could not afford to be on their own. Basically, he was telling her that they needed Wendy's money to survive. So yeah, Sharina knew that she was indirectly spending Wendy's money and thought nothing of it. She was was content enough to stay as a side piece as long as she could continue getting the lavish things that Kevin bought her with Wendy's money. Now, I don't believe in saying that a woman stole a man from another woman, but Sharina is not completely innocent in this whole drama. Not only was she sleeping with Wendy's husband, but she was also getting financed by Wendy. Sheesh, how low can you get? If you think that things could not get worse for Wendy, well, sit back because it just gets even worse from here. Now, on March 2019, Wendy revealed that she was living in a sober house and only Kevin and her son, Kevin Jr., knew about it.
I have been living in a sober house. Only Kevin and Kevin have known about this. Not my parents. Nobody knew.
Now, at the time, this didn't really surprise people because Wendy had been pretty open about her struggles with substance abuse. Now, while she was living at the sober house, Kevin was pretty much living with Sharina full time and they were having a great time together. 2 weeks after she made the reveal, it was reported that she was rushed to a hospital after a relapse. What happened was that she had checked herself out of the sober house and had begun drinking heavily and was found in bad shape by her family. It turns out that she did this because she discovered that Kevin had welcomed a baby girl with Sharina. I get how this can sting because while Wendy knew about Sharina, she didn't know that she was pregnant. So when she heard about the baby, she was completely blindsided and heartbroken. And I feel like this might have had something to do with the fact that Wendy had a stillborn baby girl in the early days of her marriage with Kevin. In April 2019, she finally filed for divorce after they had been together for about 25 years and married for 21 years. Apparently, she didn't have a problem with him cheating, but the one thing that she could not stand was him having another child with his side piece. Fans shared their opinion on the divorce, and one fan said, "The fact that Wendy Williams let her husband cheat on her for more than a decade freely, but the fact that he had a baby with the mistress is what finally made her call it quits is insane." Another fan commented, "Wendy Williams really paying her husband to cheat on her." And someone else said, "Wendy Williams says she was with her husband for 25 years and he was cheating on her the whole time, guys. Who cheats for 24 years straight?" I know that we all don't like Kevin, but he somehow made himself look even worse when he asked Wendy to pay him child support and alimony during the divorce proceedings. Yeah, I know that child support is a pretty normal thing in divorce, but then their child was already over the age of 18 at that point, so he was legally considered to be an adult and there was no need for child support. This just makes it even more obvious that Kevin was only after Wendy's money, because how on earth would he have the guts to file a legal court document asking for child support for an adult child? That man is an entire clown. Anywho, in 2021, news broke that Kevin had become engaged to Sharina and that he had proposed with a ring worth about $80,000, and Sharina has been proudly showing off her ring on social media. Now, rumor has it that the wedding is going to be held sometime in 2022, and according to reports, Wendy is not taking it well at all. An insider report revealed that Wendy is heartbroken and devastated. The insider revealed that she feels used by Kevin and that she now doubts if he even loved her from the start. She feels like he only stayed with her for that long because of her money, and the thought of him getting married to the same woman he cheated with hurts. She feels like Kevin used and manipulated her so he could give Sharina a good life. This is really sad, but I think that's exactly what happened. She was basically Kevin's ATM, even though she did not know it at the time. Some fans seem to think that this is some type of karma for Wendy, and one fan tweeted, "Karma sucks. All the years Wendy Williams talked about other people and spilled their business, now her husband is having a baby with his mistress." And another fan said, "Wendy Williams' husband got a whole mistress and a baby on the side. If that ain't karma." I don't really think this is karma, guys. I just think it's Kevin being disrespectful and Wendy not having enough self-respect to walk away from the marriage early on. Anyways, I pray that Wendy finds the strength to move on because she really needs to and deserves better. Meanwhile, you guys should totally check out this other messy video because I know how much you guys love some messy celeb drama.